Hey, well, it's been a minute.
Too long. Too long.
I know. I hated to kind of cut it off short like that, but, you know, I run another podcast as well with my buddy Jeremy.
Yeah.
He's been here to visit. And that's Dead South. And we're taking the summer. Actually, we're probably taking off the entire summer-ish on that podcast as well, like the entire summer, not just like a month.
Oh, so like no investigations at all?
No, we're going to be doing investigations.
Just
and
not
all,
recording?
Just taking some time, trying to do some stuff with that. Just so much crap going on, man. You know, I had surgery.
Yeah.
Today, we're recording today is May 15th. So if anybody's wondering, I've been released to go back to work tomorrow.
Feeling better? Back at 100?
No.
No.
No, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I am 100% as far as healing. Like everything's as perfect. And Dr. Mehdi said, I wish all of my patients healed like you did.
Yeah.
My testosterone's in the shit tank.
Oh. Them hormone levels.
Oh, fuck, dude. I went from like almost 630 to I think 186 was today.
That will make you feel like
in a
shit
month.
real quick. Yep.
So I'm finding myself I'm hitting a wall every day.
Yeah.
I'm good. I get up. I feel pretty good, you know, in the mornings, you know.
Natural energy is gone.
Still got the, you know, the little going on in the mornings a little bit. But.
Still standing tall, just
yeah.
hitting that wall.
Boy, it never really hits the wall. But about halfway through the day, it's just like somebody put a bullet in the back of my head. He said it should get better over the next 6. It's not that I've quit producing it. I've just got a bunch of scar tissue that's preventing it to get where it's going.
Need to go. Yep.
So it's not a big deal with that. But he said otherwise, he goes, I ended up, I think I took 3 perks the entire time, and I think I took 2 of them when we recorded it last time.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, I was high as a
You were high as
giraffe
shit.
ass. But other than that, bag of peas, man, I ain't had no problems. You know, I've been steady going, up and going, doing stuff.
Right.
You know, just I'd say doing stuff, but
Not overdoing it.
Not overdoing it, not sitting on my ass, trying to fill my rings out every day, you know, get my walk up in,
Right.
and stuff like that. And I didn't have any soreness. I don't have any problems. So I'm happy with that. But with that, you know what I'm talking about, ball. Mm-hmm. Reed's final game is, thank God, tomorrow, and it's a doubleheader.
Yeah.
And that's been, 2 nights a week dealing with that. Hey, peckerheads. So fucking spam callers, man. I don't like spam.
Yeah.
It's fucking fake.
They're getting good, too. They like dialing in on area codes and shit.
Oh, yeah.
So you'd be like, oh, this might be, like, important.
No. I should have answered that, actually. That would have been hilarious. I might, if they call it, well, I can't because we're.
Oh, they can't hear it, though.
Well,
You go, oh, yeah, technically. Well, you'd have to.
I could make it work, I'm sure.
We go single camera and go with it.
Yeah, we'll do something for the next time. We'll be ready for you spammers. But with ball and all that stuff, trying to get up there and see him do all of that, and it's just been go. Seems like we just plain and simple, folks. Fucking time got away from us. The day we had set recording, it just wasn't going to happen. I was in the middle, and I'm not trying to be smushy or nothing like that. My cat of 16 years I had to put down a couple weeks ago.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
I was not in the mood.
Yeah. No, I get it, man.
I
knew something was up, but it wasn't my spot. I mean, I like you.
And
good,
if it was like serious, I'd have let you know. And I hate to say it's a cat, but
dude,
it means it's important to me. It's really not important to the rest of the world, type thing.
I'm going to have to take off work from life.
Oh, dude.
When Knox goes. I know it.
Gypsy is literally, if I could pan around, Gypsy is laying in the floor of our studio right now with her new pink little collar on. Mm-hmm. And y'all don't know Gypsy. She's about a 60-pound pit bull.
Responsible for the nut job.
Yeah, she is responsible for the repairs. Man, that thing, you ought to see the fucking scar. You can't even tell it.
Show the world.
But it's just like it's like
perfect incision.
Yeah, just right down
like
the seam. I'm talking about like
a tattoo artist did.
Yeah, he's a fucking artist is what he is.
Nice.
He's a nutsack artist.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
If you got to be good at something,
Hey.
you know what I mean?
But, hey, and you want to have the best doing stuff down there because,
Yeah, I'm going to get references if I ever go that route.
yeah, no, 100%. I'd refer this guy. He's cool as hell. He really is.
Hopefully, I don't ever have to meet him.
Yeah, well, you might end up with a vasectomy or something like
True,
that.
true.
Something elective or something like that. But hopefully nothing untoward or anything. But this dude, he's cool as hell. He'll kind of he'll learn you and kind of figure
Jab,
out what
yeah.
he can jab at and what he
gotcha.
can't type thing.
Like us.
Yeah, he's cool. Like
He's a
that.
good fit.
But the simple fact was, we just needed to get a month out of the studio and kind of get the world back together, our worlds back together, and summertime coming and all of that. So we'll be back the first Monday in May, was when this will air. I don't know. Today is the first Monday in May that y'all are listening to this. I got to get used to recording again.
June.
Fucking June. It's already June.
Yeah. You said first of May.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you mean in June.
Well, I have been out of it for a while. And it's kind of like, I can't
It
even
happens.
bullshit you with this, man. The first few weeks, I felt like I was just traveling along like the fucking sand dunes of the Sahara with
Just trying to survive.
15 Percocet, a pack of fucking Newports, and some Pepe Lopez tequila.
There you go.
That's it. That's all I had. So, just trying to fucking survive, man. And now I'm I took three pills, and
That's awesome.
I just wasn't in pain.
Right.
I literally have taken. I had to take some goody powder before you got here because I had a headache. But that's the only other pain medicine I've had since I've had surgery. So
Shit, that's awesome.
I'll take that in a heartbeat. But it's funny. And I'm just going to call. I'm in the grocery store and I run into somebody the other day and he goes, "Yeah, Experiment said you got your nuts cut on." I was like, "You motherfucker."
Oh. Yeah.
They're a big fan of the show.
Well,
they know who they are.
We've got a pretty good base that always tries to touch up. They
Yeah.
were worried about were we canceled.
I know,
What-
right?
What happened? Why didn't the weekly come out? So
I know, but
it's kind of nice to have that support behind.
dude, it is, man.
Even
I
from
got
people we don't work with anymore, like guys that are following this thing, women that are following this thing.
Yeah, they the text I got that Monday. Hey, your podcast didn't pop up. Oh yeah, check
Right.
Facebook, man. We're not gonna put nothing out for a few weeks just to kind of give it a little break there. But yeah, that's pretty good. But being home is not beneficial
No.
to me trying to get along with people, I think.
No, I get it. That the confinement thing, it does not do well. I don't even like being sick because I'm at home for more than a day, and I can't. I don't function like that.
No. I found that I got angrier about things.
Yeah, the little things.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I wouldn't even say the little things, but like people got to the point where they just pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah. For like the slightest shit, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was. We were going to the. Just today, I'll give you an example. My wife, she follows all these. If it is a story, and it is on some type of news media, she knows all about it.
Yeah.
And
She's in it.
like knee deep in it. And you've probably heard the story about this John Paul Miller dude. And
No.
John Paul Miller, this Micah Miller out of Myrtle Beach area. You haven't heard this?
No.
Well, I've heard the story.
Do tell.
So
This came from your wife. She's obviously kept up and told you about this.
100%. I am versed in it now.
Oh, okay.
Against my will, but versed
Okay.
in it.
Fair enough.
So to give you the rundown of this story, And I'll kind of pull up here an article, and I'm not going to share the article on the thing. You can look that shit up yourself. That's the way it is now. This is from an NBC News source. So this is in Myrtle Beach. So this woman, Micah Miller, a 30-year-old, they're saying died by suicide from a self-inflicted gunshot wound on April 27th. The Lumber River State Park in North Carolina. Was her husband happens to be John Paul Miller of the Solid Rock Church. He's the pastor. So this is the gist of the story. All right. They have not been getting along. She'd served him with divorce papers. Even to the point that she had complaints that, and I'm going to get into the creepiness of this whole thing.
Oh, I bet.
She'd served him with divorce papers, but they have like her tracking because he had people following her. And of course, cell phones and stuff like that track you anyway too. But like I don't know whether he had like a tracker on the car, but supposedly he had people following her. Tracked her all the way through, even to the pawn shop where she bought the gun from. She went up, made a 911 call in this North Carolina county, said, I'm going to kill myself. I just want people to know where my family to know where my body is, and that's the end of it. But then they found the gun and her in the water with a gunshot wound to the head. Now, the first things that bother me is that, number one, rarely, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but rarely, women do not shoot them. Women don't shoot themselves in the head often to commit suicide. It's usually in the chest. It's a whole vanity thing. And that's just a statistic.
Yeah.
It's not 100%, but number two, in the water.
Yeah, that's off.
There's off things about it.
Yeah.
So supposedly,
these people had followed her to the mountains where she bought this gun.
I don't know. It's got this Murdaugh-ish smell to it in my book.
Big pastor, everybody probably loves him, speaks highly of him.
I don't really know. Well, I know her family. I don't think they thought a whole lot about him. Simply because it seems like he was a little bit older and may have even groomed her from like the time she was 8 years old through the church.
What?
Yeah, that was one of the complaints. What was, sign up for my newsletter. I don't want your fucking newsletter.
How old was he?
I'm trying to, the victim told police she's known her husband since she was 10 years old, and he groomed her while she worked for John Paul at Solid Rock Church up until the point they were married in 2018, per the report.
Oh, man, this is that religion stuff. Oh.
John Paul also, just following some in the article, she experiences episodes on an annual basis near Christmas when she becomes reckless and spends large amounts of money, when she stops taking her prescribed medications. The car was marital property, and anyway. And this was one of her reckless episodes.
Oh, man.
Harassment incidences towards Micah prior to her death. What was even odder?
More odd.
More odd.
I like it. Either one.
Yeah,
Either one.
Whatever. What was even worse to me is that this happened, her suicide happened on a Saturday. He preached a sermon on Sunday, and at the end of the sermon, he told the congregation that she had died.
He ended it with that?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like that stinks of gross to me.
Yeah. There's something off with that, the whole thing.
But here's the fucking problem. Now, here's more problems. So he reportedly would not let the family view the body until they signed because they were legally separate. They had divorce papers, a couple of weeks. I don't know how that goes, but anyway, you do. couple of weeks, she'd served him with the divorce papers. There seems to be some question about her ability to make medical decisions because her sister had attempted to gain medical authority over her, get a
the medical authority for on what terms of an adult?
I mean, might have been pretty serious. Even to the point, now this might even be like post-mortem, like trying to
What to do with the body?
With the body.
Okay.
Even so much that the brother, so the sister and the brother of Micah, the brother submitted court documents supporting his sister because the husband wanted her cremated immediately.
Oh,
Now,
shit.
oh, yeah, by the way, there was no
shit.
official autopsy done on it either.
Of course not.
Because who the fuck ever in North Carolina or whoever's responsible for it, or I don't know who's responsible for it, you fucking sucked.
Yeah, they missed it.
You missed it. That's important. You just don't go and go, oh, they magically killed themselves. You just can't do that.
There was no autopsy, and her body was cremated.
Yes.
Almost instantaneous.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Holy shit.
A medical examiner in South Carolina, there was really the only way to get a medical examiner in South Carolina, I believe. Now, it may have happened because the incident happened in North Carolina. I don't know their laws. But most counties run coroners. Now, coroners can also be medical examiners and doctors.
Right.
But many coroners are not, and most of them rely on professional medical examiners at certain facilities to do the autopsies.
Yeah.
And the medical said the wounds were consistent with suicide. Okay?
That doesn't
too
say bold.
That doesn't mean it's suicide.
A hole in the fucking head doesn't mean how that bullet got there.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't tell us a story up until that point.
It's not funny, but
it's ridiculous.
Right, absolutely.
That all of these things have happened, and now this guy who's, I'm gonna just go ahead and call it. He sounds like he is a groomer.
Right.
Sounds like he saw something, went after it inappropriately,
at a very, very young age.
Yeah. And he got tired of it, and it is gone now.
And you
That's
don't
the
know
story.
You don't know the mental game behind these doors either. So
No.
Did he break her down using the religion base and all this stuff to the point where she really did feel crazy?
Yeah. Somebody mentioned one time, I was reading something that gaslighting isn't real, and I was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
But he did gaslight her until the point that it was just
almost into submission to where she had nothing else. Like, that's,
correct.
God almighty.
So this just stinks. It smells bad.
Yeah.
And, it took a little while for the church to even say, hey, you don't really need to pastor right now until some of these questions are answered.
Right.
And of course they did it on the whole we have a process for this, and he needs to grieve and all this other kind of stuff. Hey,
Dude was the day after.
They got him in a fucking bar somewhere like 2 or 3 days later.
Oh, my God.
Somebody took a picture of his ass.
This is my conundrum.
No, it's not a conundrum. Fuck these people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like these big mega church power, like these preachers, man, it's one of them things. I'm not going to go probably too far into it because I've got a lot of friends that are very big into churches and all that, but it has always been a thing for me where you don't, when you're going to stand up and tell me you have no skeletons whatsoever, it's, you know what I mean?
No, I'm 100% in agreement with that. Here's the thing. What's that? Is it Netflix? I can't remember which. The Righteous Gemstones. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Oh, dude, it is so bad. Like, it is so, when I say that, it's great. But it's got, oh, God, what's the dude? Eastbound and Down guy.
Oh, God.
And the dude that's playing the ghoul on the Fallout, I can't even think of his name right now.
Yeah. He's also from, what's the cop movie? The cowboy cop movie, the series.
Yeah. Justified?
Justified.
Yes.
That's him.
Yeah.
Goggins.
Goggins.
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking phenomenal actor.
Oh, he really is good.
Yeah, like if you watch, I've been watching the Fallout series, and
Kill and Ghoul.
he's killing it.
Yeah, Kill and Ghoul.
Killing it. Like it's the best character on TV, right? You know, this is better than Game of Thrones to me as far as like just acting. And this guy is just mauling it to pieces. But he's on this movie, and it's Baby Billy Boy or something like that on the Righteous Gemstone. So it's got John Goodman as the father, and then it's got and so Coggins plays John Goodman's brother, and then it's got oh God, he's pounding down. I can see him right there.
Fuck, I would.
Danny McBride.
Oh my God.
Danny McBride is one of the sons. It is so bad.
I bet that shit is funny. Now I'm going to watch it.
It is hilarious. It is the most hilarious show. Unfortunately, there are some people I have a lot of respect for in the religious and church communities, and this is not a global statement, but it is. Some of that is not too far off from some people.
Really?
Yeah, it's not the people that I've ever associated with, and if I ever saw any of that, I kind of ran the other way.
Right.
But it was, it's exactly that kind of stuff, you know.
It happens all the time too.
And the thing is that there is a fine line between what pastoralship is and pastoral leadership is, and quasi-cultism.
Yeah. Well, and you know better than I do. You're an ordained minister, correct?
No, I'm not ordained.
No, I'm sorry. You have your bachelor's in
Yes, my bachelor's
biblical
is in biblical studies and religion.
Right. So you know better than I do. So I'm just speaking. I'm just knowing, being raised in a Methodist church style home, I have seen so many different pastors, men and women both, that come in probably with very good meaning, and then that religious power goes to them, and it starts becoming embezzlement or lying, cheating, corruption.
Yeah.
And it's always the crutch. And how many times have you watched corruption occur, and the church will still back the bullshit that is going on in the betterment for, you know what I mean, for the congregation? I'm like, oh, I can't buy into this shit.
No. And this isn't a blanket statement. Like I said, there are good preachers out there.
Yeah, I know. I'm not bashing 100%.
And I will tell you from my experience that 9 out of 10 are great, but it's the one that gets, that brings the bad rep. You talk about Methodist. Did you see the United Methodist Conference?
I don't need.
Yeah, I'm pastor so-and-so. My pronouns are he, him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got all kinds of crazy on all of that.
Well, listen, I will tell you a funny story just to backlay this thing. I was pretty much forced into church from very young with my grandmother, raised by my grandma primarily, in her residence anyway. Once the divorce, my childhood, a whole different story. You need a whole goddamn episode for this thing to get through that.
Good. We need episodes.
But listen, I got to the point where I walked in one day and the preacher grabbed my shirt. Now, my grandma was all set into this church. She bought in hook, line, and sinker. Everything this man said was true, This guy pretty much tells me, you're a piece of shit. No one in here likes you. No one in here respects you. Because I like rock music. I was not the same kid that's wearing the button-up T-shirt and the slacks. I've always been very outspoken. Yeah. So I said, from that time forward, watch this shit. I would be forced to go to church. My ass would walk up the stairs, do the greeting, and I would exit through the back, and I would walk 1.5 miles home. And it got me. And I did this shit to the point where my grandma finally said, don't even fuck, we're going to church. And because that is what I remembered as the preacher saying to me. Mm-hmm. And it was years before I even mentioned it to my grandmother. I mean, she died in 2017. And I bet it was just a few years before that. But, like, He literally pulled me to the side, and this is the same guy that the whole church was like, he's literally the second coming of Christ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what they believe on it. And so it was one of those things that has always stuck with me. Of man, I'm not what you think. I don't give a shit what you think about me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's the problem.
And that's at 9 years old. So you imagine, like,
yeah, that's kind of the problem with me is that I have no more fucks to give.
right?
I'm not here to impress anybody, and I'm especially not here to be fake about things.
Oh no.
And I think there's a lot of that. There's a lot of when I look at it, when I look at religion, there's a lot of religion of words and not religion of action. I don't have to tell you I'm a Christian. You should know by my actions.
Right.
That's biblical. So, but I've served doing music for and under great pastors. And I have seen the underbelly of some of that, and not necessarily not like illegal, like go to jail type stuff or anything like that. Nothing odd or weird or nothing like that, but seeing people passed over for certain things because the pastor is friends with this one.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. It,
and the rules of the church be bent because of things like that. And then some of us were nothing more than the dancing monkey that can play a guitar, sing a little bit, and play the piano.
and bring me more people.
Yes.
Yep.
And
No, I'm right there with you, man. I get
so I kind of had that experience with it. That doesn't decrease my faith in it necessarily. It decreases my faith in humanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because all of that, see, this is the thing is that people get confused, Brent, and I'm going to be honest with you here. People confuse faith in humanity with faith in God. That's two different things.
That's a strong statement. No, I would agree with it.
Do I walk Jesus's path? No, I don't anymore.
Right.
But I have faith in him. I know what he did for me.
Yeah.
I believe in him. I believe he's here to protect me and what he bought and paid for me. I believe all of those things. However, my faith in humanity or the people involved in sharing his message has been so askewed, and you can simply look at it in the hundreds of different denominations. And the reason we have that is each denomination has its own dogma,
Right.
has its own set of interpretations that have led to beliefs. And in all of that, no one can say that we're right or wrong. No wonder, and I hate to say this, no wonder churches are dying.
Oh,
And they are.
100%. Yeah.
Pastors, there are 3 times as many pastors leaving ministry as entering ministry.
Yeah.
And then when you factor in that 1 out of 10 that does some shady shit, like, embezzlement, these. I'm not saying a pastor on TV can't be honest and true. I just don't see many of them being honest and true. The Kenneth Copelands.
I don't buy any of that shit. And the reason,
Benny Hinn's and
not even, well, that was one of the most corrupt motherfuckers right there. But then you got what's the curly haired dude's name?
Joel Osteen,
who said during the flooding in the hurricanes or the tornadoes in Texas, locked his own church doors after telling everybody it was going to be a sanctuary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you got Copeland. I don't give a shit what anybody tells me.
He's possessed.
The interview that he had with, was it Dateline or 60 Minutes?
About the airplane?
Yes.
Oh, that thing is possessed. Son.
There is nothing about that human that is a Christian.
No.
And I don't give a shit what any other person wants to argue.
So
that was straight demonic, and like
I will argue on the other side, the paranormal side of it. I saw things there that would, if I saw that in a real person, I would say doing a real interview like with you, if I saw that, I would have serious concerns of possession or attachment.
Yeah. It's not. That is the.
And I'm not.
And people are still sending this dude.
Sorry, Gypsy. I can't.
Millions of dollars a month.
Millions. And, well, let's be honest. He bought the plane from Tyler. And he made that money. He made that plane so affordable. I couldn't help but buy. I've watched that thing many times. You know, Tyler Perry, you know, he's one of those. He didn't get famous till he put on a dress, like Cat Williams said.
Listen, that shit's, well, you're going to go down another alley here.
Oh, no, it all travels. Let me tell you something. There's, you know, plumbing and life are very similar.
Right.
Hot on the left, cold on the right, shit runs downhill.
Yep.
And the shit is running downhill. They done called out Drake since we met last.
Everybody's getting called
Everybody's getting called to the floor. So,
whoever had that booty hole for sale.
Yeah.
Whoever put a price tag on that booty hole has come to the carpet.
Yes, sir. There is a lot. Yeah, you know, but.
And who started it? Cat Williams. And Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore. There was this female comic actor lady that went on a thing, and she didn't spill the tea. She kicked over the 55-gallon drum just like Cat did.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen this one yet.
And backed him up 100%. And, like, you know,
I have
like
to see this
it's
one.
getting serious. Like, it's getting so serious now that they have to, the law enforcement's having to take these things seriously, and they're having to investigate these things. And
I mean,
oh, my God.
How do you not? Well, look, the one they called to the floor, you can't even find him. He's overseas in this private island.
The problem is that you got people that's still here that's protecting them, like Oprah and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, because they're all part of it.
Yeah, all of them's part of it.
They're
And it doesn't
all
matter.
part of it.
And
Where do you think all that money's coming from, man? Like,
and you know, I hate to dig because it just sounds like we're digging on the black folks here, but you know,
look,
Cat was the realest motherfucker out there.
Well, Cat threw the mega church in there.
Yeah.
To tie this whole thing in to, oh my gosh, what's his name?
Creflo Dollar.
Nope.
No, not Creflo.
No, the big time mega church, the black old guy.
No,
oh my
Creflo.
gosh, I can't think of his name right now.
I know who you're talking about. He was P. Diddy's.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't think of it either. I'll think of it in 5 minutes from now. But yeah, it was. They are throwing the shit right now, and the fact is that I don't know. They're just the ones that have opened the door. They finally, you know, Cat and all these other folks just finally had a fuck enough of it.
I mean, how long do you take it?
And said, "Fuck it." You know, and it's crazy to me that it took this long, but I'm glad it's happening. And I'm glad it's happening because I think it's going to justify things like I've believed since day one that Cornell and, you know, Chester Bennington, those folks didn't kill themselves, that they were onto this stuff too, and they got to them.
I bet you they were invited and they turned it down.
Mm-hmm. And they were making us think about it behind the scenes, and things were, the word has always been something was fixing to come out.
Right.
And then all of a sudden this happens and stuff like that. So I'm wondering, one day maybe we're vindicated in those things. I would love for that to happen just to clear that specter over them.
I wonder how much security those two have right now.
Oh, I imagine it's ridiculous.
He literally has to live in fear right now.
I don't think he does.
You don't think so? You think he's just accepted like, well, when they kill me, they kill me?
I think he's accepted if that happens, then that's just more truth.
Right.
I think he's willing to be that.
That's smart.
I mean,
that's smart.
He is willing to be that person. That's why I have so much fucking respect for him.
Yeah. You think the Clintons are tied into this as much as, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like,
Cat got climbing gear, son.
I'm telling you, man. It gets crazier and crazier the more shit that comes out about it. But
no, it's whether the Clintons are involved or not, everybody's involved. It's kind of to the point where if you've been a big movie star in the last 15, 20 years, you're involved in something.
Right.
Like, that's the way you feel about
or
it.
artist. I mean, any sort of,
just artist. Whether it's music or whatever. And God, it's made me kind of go back and question a lot of this stuff. And speaking of fucking artists, have you been on social media a lot?
Not really, man.
Oh, God.
Who is it?
JoJo Siwa. Have you seen this bullshit?
My daughter talks about it. She's a dancer
Yeah,
from a show.
She was on like Dance Moms, like when she was a kid.
Oh my God, yeah. This is the one that dressed up like one of the Oakland Raiders things or something, right? That my daughter was showing me something about.
She
it.
literally looks like if you carry a homeschool kid out for the first time.
This is a project.
It's all over social media. You can't get away from it. I can't be on TikTok no more. What in the fuck is happening over there?
Oh, my cords got tied up by Gypsy.
Gypsy, go lay down. Now she's coming over here to harass me. Come here, girl. So, like, I scroll through TikTok and every fifth fucking video is something, her doing some kind of fucking convulsion.
That means you searched for this shit.
No, I have not searched for that. Some kind of fucking convulsion dance or something like that. And then they're saying, oh, this is the biggest change of any artist ever, and like comparing herself to fucking Bowie and shit like that.
Oh, no. Get the fuck out of here.
Get fucked.
Yeah, fuck.
You know, sideways.
Jesus.
It is something. But, you know, these kids, and she's a kid. She's so disillusioned because she's been told.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Taylor Swift, all of that.
And it goes back to that. And going back to social media, there was a guy on TikTok. He got famous on TikTok called Officer Udi. Officer Udi. So he got real famous on there, and his famous lines are like, kids ain't shit. And his daughter, he calls her Scoot or something like that. And she's like, he's like, this little demon Scoot, It's kind of like Avery.
Okay.
So his son was at a trampoline park and was playing like dodgeball. And he won, got the best of these other two kids. These other two kids jumped him and beat the piss out of him. And I'm talking about, this is like a 10 or 12-year-old kid. I don't know really how old he is, but no.
Jesus.
I'm talking about stomped. This trampoline park, instead of, saying, hey, we had this incident, we wanted to reassure everybody. These motherfuckers put out a video that was almost like an advertisement and used this incident to promote their trampoline parks. Well, this dude lost his shit.
Rightfully.
But I got to thinking, because I've been sits and thinks a lot lately.
Right.
And I was sitting there thinking about it, and I go, in reality, we just went to a trampoline park for my son's birthday. Anything that happened in there, in the moment, that trampoline park, even though they own the building, they own the property, they are not the root cause of what happened.
No.
Could they be responsible? Yes, because ownership and all of that stuff and liability. But they did not cause those two kids to jump that other kid.
No.
Shit parents did that.
Correct.
Shit parenting did that. And you go, oh, well, it's, trampoline park so-and-so, whatever. I don't even remember the name of the trampoline park. Wouldn't say it on here anyway. And I get where Udi's pissed off about, them kind of, since all the stanks going on about it, they've even taken that video down, blocked their social media, blocked a bunch of people. It's a mess.
This trampoline park has?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I'll still go back and say, if the trampoline park would have just did one thing and reach out to this guy and said, hey, we know this happened. What can we do to make this whole? Right. We know you took him to the ER. Is there anything we can do to help with expenses and things like that? And just reached a hand out and had a conversation. Just talk.
Yeah.
No.
They promoted it.
Ouch. I'm going to go, that's just bad fucking upbringing, too, on whoever made that decision.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
But it goes back to people they just are all about themselves now. You got these kids that, they're probably 12, 13 years old. And obviously there's very little that will be done to them or could be done to them. But the simple fact is that nobody, the parents haven't even stood up and said, our kids did wrong. Let us help fix this. This isn't the trampoline park's problem. It just happened to be where it was. Let us fix this. No, it's just going into hiding. And it just goes back to how shit people are. And it pisses me off on the regular that you see that. I was driving today. Yeah, people have no courtesy anymore.
No, hell no.
People don't care anymore. They would rather get on Facebook and bitch about something than actually have a conversation and help solve the problem.
Correct.
Avoidance is the number one thing that I see a lot of times, too, is just if I avoid the problem, it'll go away. No, it just creates more problems down the road that you have to deal with. I don't know. And that's just one of those things that have just irritated the shit out of me. And it all goes back to you got this pastor up there that, did he pull the trigger? I doubt it. He even supposedly has an alibi that he was in Charleston or something like that on the way back from Charleston.
Of course.
Swear to God, I need to answer that.
Is it another spam call?
Spam call.
Oh, my God.
I get about 45 a day anymore. But if he didn't, he knew something. Things stink.
So you don't have a suicide of your spouse and then turn around and go to work the next day like, no, ain't no big deal.
No biggie. No, wifey.
She shot herself yesterday.
She put a 9mm hole in the side of her head. And
Praise God.
Yeah, God is good.
It's so bizarre.
Probably was preaching about tithing or something about shit.
Probably.
Yeah.
We're not doing 10. We're not doing 10.
No, we're doing 25.
We need 25, 30.
25, 30 in memory of my wife for committing suicide.
And we're going to get new benches.
Yes. We're going to get the ones with the fluff in them.
Memory foam. Self-warming
benches. You can't even hear yourself fart in the church.
Oh, Lord.
But no. So you got this guy. There's not going to be any responsibility for him. He's going to essentially walk out of here.
It goes back to just what you were saying. There's no responsibility for anyone anymore.
No, nobody.
And everybody, shouldn't say everybody because that's a pretty much blanket statement, but it seems like the world is very full of those that are just there for themselves. They're the most important thing that they know.
Yeah.
And it also is a slippery slope because saying something anymore can get you banished or banned just as, or labeled just as fast as anything. So sometimes it almost feels like staying quiet anymore is the safest route to go, even though it doesn't solve anything.
Interesting you should say that. You are a millennial by birth, but you're an older millennial.
I'll call it. Yeah, I guess so. If you want to label it by year, yeah.
Yeah, you're an older millennial, and you fall back to Generation X values more than you do millennial values just because of your time.
The mid-'80s, baby.
Yeah. I feel like at some point, us Gen Xers and the older millennials, I'm going to call you ancient millennials.
I appreciate it.
Ancient millennials need to band together and just go cut some fence and sort some shit out everywhere,
Right.
My generation was the one, I want to be left alone.
Yeah.
I want to be left alone. Please leave me alone. Dick punch. That was it.
That's it.
There was no, I've tried to communicate with you.
Right.
I'm not going to communicate anymore. I'm going to end it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's time to do that. Whether it's social issues, whether it's political issues, anything like that. We just need to get all of these fucking boomers, sorry.
Yeah, well, the boomers have ruined a lot of it.
Out of fucking politics. There's no reason that a 78-year-old person needs to be making policies for a 35-year-old person.
I'm just going back to it. It all started with the hippies, bro.
Well,
a lot of it, that era was a lot of fucking problems.
Yep.
And I've had family members that were involved with it, and they are still to this day just the same liberal-minded. It's just, it fucking
here's the problem: is that I don't mind a liberal
No, I shouldn't say it like that, but
because there's a liberal and there's an extreme left.
right.
I will give you an example: Bill Maher. Okay, see, this is the thing. I know you say that. Back in, oh God, probably mid '90s, early 2000s, I couldn't stand any word that came out of his mouth. It was like fingernails on a chalkboard. Listen to him now.
He's evolving.
He realizes 100% that this whole woke and extreme liberal movement is killing liberals and Democrats.
Right.
And, you know, the fact is that Democrats and Republicans for so long worked together to come up with something equal down the line. Now you got crazies on the left, you got crazies on the right.
You're right.
There's
right.
just as many crazies on the right over here.
The far rights are they're
Fucking loony.
They're just. I mean, they're crazy too.
You know,
just on a different
Yeah,
spectrum.
you know, I cannot support somebody that doesn't believe in science.
Right.
I can't.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Well, that's bullshit. It's science. That's how I feel.
I promise you, it's real.
I promise you. That's the reason we need it. I'll go with Neil deGrasse Tyson on this. We need a National Institute of Science that does nothing but report objectivity.
Hey,
That's
something. Yeah.
Hey, may it affect policy, may it not. But
Fuck subjective.
yeah, it's either objective or it's not. Now,
Right.
whether that affects policy or not doesn't matter, but it's objective.
Right.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you know, me and him don't have the same belief system, but I believe in objectivity. You know, I can come together on that and go, hey, I can listen to reason.
But the problem with the far left, there is only one side. There is no reasoning for anything else. Not a freaking thing. Now, and that's one thing I've noticed. Even with
He
far,
wanted to say fuck.
yeah, not. But even so, like I would say, I have some friends that are extreme far right. Even they're more apt to conversation, even though they may not buy a fucking word of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Than some of the far left that are just like, nope, you're condescending, you're a bigot. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
At least the far right doesn't scream at you.
Correct. Yeah. They may not listen to you for shit, but
Yeah, and some of their ideas are really, really stupid. You know, like
yeah.
transgender people converting to Islam. It's not going to work.
Did you say far right or far left?
Far left.
Okay. No, yeah.
Yeah, no. The far right go, nope, those guys are going to kill you.
Far right's just like, hey, let's drop nukes. And I'm like, fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, let's don't. Let's talk a little bit. You know,
Do you know what happens when first nuke is dropped now?
maybe Israel's doing some weird shit over there. You know what I mean? Like, let's back up and punt a little bit. Let's be a little more cautious.
Right.
You know, I'm not saying support Palestine. I'm just saying that maybe we need to
Reevaluate.
let's look at the objective information,
Right.
and make a decision.
Right.
Let's don't listen, to the fucking media and how they slant it.
Yes. Yep.
That's got to be what we do. That's got to be where we go. And I'm not saying it all becomes science. I'm not saying that. It can't. There's got to be feeling, there's got to be emotion, there's got to be personal, invest in those things. But let that at least inform decisions.
Yeah.
In a way.
Allow people to form and develop their own thoughts instead of being, let's engineered and pumped. Full of this dumb shit. And this starts, this is what pisses me off. This now is starting. Now, fortunate, my position is a little different. This starts in school systems now. In fucking elementary school. Like that's the part that kills me. And that it's taught. Did you see the clip of the woman that was hired as a kindergarten teacher?
Mm-mm.
Who said she didn't know, she was all stressed out because she didn't know how to address her class because she doesn't identify as he or she, and all the kids are going to be real confused. So she was having this breakdown on a live feed about not knowing what to do. This is a straight up woman having a breakdown saying, I don't identify as I'm like, how are you hired to fucking teach my children? I won't understand that. I will never. Other than mental illness, I don't understand.
No, I think that's at some point that is what it is that. And here's the thing. It goes back to, do I think there are some people that are truly transgender?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Do I think there are some people that suffer from mental illness that think they are transgender?
Yes. You know what we used to call that? That's not identified hardly anymore. When's the last time you've heard somebody just, I'm bipolar?
I say that to myself all the time.
No, fuck. I'm talking about just you and I. Do you know what we do? We're bipolar all the time.
Yeah, but you're bi, but that's different.
And polar.
Yeah.
No, but you don't see these medical diagnoses anymore because it's okay. And now they're coming up with all these different terms for the youth. You know what I mean? Don't you? I thought you were putting something cover over me. It seems like it's a trickle effect. Like, you know what I mean? Instead of identifying the mental health needs, we're just going, oh, okay, you can be a kettle tomorrow.
Yeah, I can be a fucking.
You're a cat, and here's a litter box in fucking elementary school.
Oh yeah.
Please go ahead and take a shit in it. What are you doing to better the life of that kid? Because you think, what is he going to do for a job? Unless that you find some corporation that allows their employees to shit in a litter box. Like, there's nothing there. Don't you do it. What did you put on me? What did you fucking put on me?
I did not put anything on you. I'll do that in post, and you can't do nothing about it. No, I was just switching scenes. Yeah, that's exactly right. And instead of going, wait a minute, a grown-ass adult shitting in a litter box that's a sign of a mental illness. That's not.
Yes.
Number one, the help's not there.
Right.
Sorry.
You're right.
Freudian psychology is horseshit.
Right.
I'm going to call it what it is. If you are a follower of Freud, great. Fine. Joey's personal opinion from objective information
bullshit
says it's bullshit. It hasn't worked.
No.
It doesn't work. Peer psychology seems to help a little bit.
Yeah.
But the problem is that we are programming these people in schools to
and
believe,
in the households.
Dude, I went to Liberty University. My degree's from Liberty University, and it took everything I could to see through the programming.
Yeah.
To get the information, I just wanted the information.
Right.
But at every turn, they were trying to,
I'm sure
to bend me in that direction. I was like, no, I don't want to go that way. I just want to stay here.
That's right. I'm in my lane. I'm in my lane, bitch.
I want my information.
Yeah.
This is what I pay you for, is to give me this information. What I do with it is no concern to you.
Right.
Don't tell me how I should interpret it.
Oh,
that's probably the reason that history teacher didn't like me a whole lot. That's the only class I had a B in.
Some of those electives will get you. Will get you.
It was U.S. history, and I wrote about how much of an asshole John C. Calhoun was.
Hey, listen.
Hey, he was a shithead, dude.
He was a shithead.
And obviously, my professor was his first fucking cousin.
Yeah. Well, John C. Calhoun, or
Andrew Jackson was an asshole.
Oh, no, Johnson Haygood.
Yeah.
Another absolute piece of dog shit.
Yes.
And his last move was probably the biggest asshole move that I've probably ever read, other than the late 1930s Hitler and stuff. But it's pretty brutal.
Yeah. These guys out there, this isn't stuff, and this was going back to Cat Williams. I watched something about that, and if you look at those type things with Johnson Haygood, you look at all of these atrocities that occurred to minorities, not just blacks, but minorities as a whole. Mm-hmm. Black folks suffered them more because there was, by number, more of them. But everybody, Chinese that came over, all this stuff, if you can't look at that stuff and feel a sense of support for them, for those communities because of what they went through to get where they are now, then there's something fucking wrong with you.
No, I agree. It's programmed, but I also believe from the other opposite spectrum of that
that you're a complete racist.
No. Jesus Christ! Why the fuck did you blast that?
Why? I mean,
everybody that knows me knows I am not a racist, but
despite that uniform in the closet
and the haircut, the good haircut. But
I mean,
it goes back to home programming because they were assholes to that degree because that had been brought through.
Yes.
Okay? So you're going to tell me far left, far right, the ones in the middle, you, myself, able to make judgment calls for ourselves. We were able to branch away from even the shit that we come from or whatever else.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because we're free thinkers. You're able to differentiate. That's fucking stupid. That's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Far left, far right, you have, let's say either side, probably right and left, mental illness in the home of parents, probably undiagnosed, untreated, raising now Generation 2, Generation 3, Generation 4. This is your fucking final product of that occurring, and that you're not going to change my mind on that.
I think you're advocating euthanasia.
No.
I mean that's like the quick answer. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Maybe that's me. It's like maybe we just euthanize a few of them and we're okay.
I don't know what the answer would be.
You know what I think the answer is? Number one, just kind of walk up there and slap the shit out of some of them sometimes and just go, wake the hell up. Life is not easy. Life is not fair. Life is not going to hand you anything. No one deserves anything they get. You work for what you get, period.
Right.
And you can take that and you can look back at, history and go, you see where African Americans are today, it's not near where they need to be, but no one handed them shit. But look where they have pulled themselves up to.
Yeah.
Because I'll be damned is that nobody else give them any help either. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Even the people that were neutral or even pro, they didn't help a whole lot. You know what I mean? You know, you didn't see that because they were beat down in the churches, Yeah. And or given this whole community idea, people cared too much about who thought about you down the road and all this bullshit. Man, get fucked.
That's what I agree.
That's where I am with it, is that people quit caring about people. I don't know when it happened, way over 100 years ago. But people just quit caring about people. And the more I try not to do that, the more I do that, because people are just acting so fucking stupid now.
Yeah.
People can't take a joke.
No. God, no.
I'm talking about this generation now, the 20-somethings now.
Everything's an attack. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
You can't have a joke or an open-ended conversation or any sort of direction. Try constructive criticism.
No.
With anybody under the age of 32.
No shit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's frustrating as hell.
I'm not gonna be talking like it's unbelievable.
Yeah, but then on the other side,
they're allowed to say whatever the fuck they want to.
They're allowed to say whatever, but then we're cuffed.
Yep.
People in authority, whether that's real authority or subjective authority,
right?
Like you have, especially in our jobs, we're oftentimes handcuffed,
right?
And that sucks. Take the handcuffs off.
Yep.
Just one time.
Yeah, that's a struggle.
Just a struggle. It is a struggle.
I wonder every single day when that phone's going to ring that I got to go to HR.
I mean, I have gotten to the point where I don't want to necessarily believe that I'm. Whoa, my whole thing is jacked up.
You look pretty good.
I know.
Oh, you way delayed.
Oh, it's bad. I'm just gonna go back to the other screen.
Way delayed.
Yeah. It's all that phone power up there. I'm just every day. I have to fight, not disassociating myself.
Yeah.
I have to fight for engagement because my natural tendency as a Gen Xer is to just be quiet and leave me alone.
I used to think that was best for me because
now it's fixed. You fucking asshole.
You look. Go back. That's horrible. Ugh.
No, it does not look horrible.
I can't. Oh shit! Now I don't even remember what I was saying.
No, my option is sometimes is to step away and almost disassociate, or you're gonna cry.
I could see it,
And I don't want you to cry. That's the thing.
I think what it's forced me to do, because I'm very open, but it hasn't made me dissociate. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. You are so fucking paranoid.
No, it's the way you're looking at me with that fucking weird face.
He's picking on my fucking drooped eye over here.
Got fucking strokeosaurus over here.
Yeah. See, I have a lazy eye. I can't fucking help it.
Got a lazy face.
Fucking, what is that? Bell's palsy or something like that. I've had
It's an inner ear infection.
yeah, and your Bell's palsy.
But what I do think it has caused me to do is, I think my close circle that I already always had a small circle.
It's gotten smaller.
I think it's just gotten that much smaller where I've even had to select to withdraw myself from people that were in my initial circle. You know what I mean? For my mental clarity.
I just did that.
Did you?
Yeah. And it wasn't anything anybody necessarily did. It was just health benefits.
Yeah. And at that point, that's what it's about. As the older we get, okay.
And I want to say this so no one, like I really, this, we can be offensive on here, but I don't want anybody to be offended that because I've decided not to keep you in my circle doesn't mean I still don't love you.
Right.
I don't respect you.
Right.
But I love and respect myself more.
Boom. That's what it's all about, man.
That's it.
That's what it's all about.
Then the situation as a whole.
Right.
And my family. And that's really, really big for me is that family component is that
if I find myself having to prove to you or finding myself like I have to try to keep you happy, that's not my job. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That to me is more of a strain on me than 100%. It is anyway. And if it's constant complaining, why, that I can't do it. I just don't have that mental space for that anymore in that little. I will still talk to you about all your problems. Like if you want to come to me and be like, listen, man, I'm going through it. It's not going to keep. I can't have you in my literally maybe 10.
Well, that's the thing is that you're taught. You're still taught with them. You're still comfort them if they need comforting. You'll help them, but they will never. You will never have them close to you.
Right.
It will always be.
It's a safe space.
A safe space.
Yeah.
And I think, that's just healthy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think it's got to be healthy.
And listen, I lost some good ones, when a few years ago when I went through my own personal battles, demons, the ones that I thought were in my circle closest to me were the last ones that were willing to be there when I needed them, but the first one to get pissed off when I wasn't available to them. And I was like, I don't, that's not true. Like,
so there's this guy that says this thing, and he says, You should only go where you're celebrated, not just tolerated.
Huge.
Well, I don't really like the celebration thing because I'm not one of those people who necessarily needs accolades.
Right.
I want to be with people who feel the same way about me that I do them.
Yeah. I know.
That's in a discussion.
Right.
It doesn't have to be celebrated. I don't have to walk in the room to applause and praise and any
No.
of those things. But I'm not going to be in some place that you only tolerate me because.
Right.
Because.
Or gain something from
Or
me.
gain something or an advantage. Or
Yes.
think you're going to get. One thing about me is that there is no advantage to me.
Right.
Especially when it comes to my professional life. It just is what it is. I will do what I need to do within my rules to keep things safe and keep things running.
Do you have personal rule set that you set for yourself? Things that you will and will not tolerate or accept?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. I didn't know if that was a me thing.
No.
That is something that I started doing in the last 5 years. And
So I am probably the world's best at cutting someone out of my life.
I'm going to say I'm going to challenge you on this.
I don't care who you are, family.
Right.
I don't care how close family you are. I don't care how long we've been friends. I've done stupid shit.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Part of the journey, man.
Yeah, and I get it when somebody doesn't want to associate with me anymore. I understand that 100%. And I'm okay with it because I look back at that and go, well, if the situation was different, I'd absolutely do the same thing. I can absolutely, without question, walk away from a friendship or a relationship with somebody else and not have any animosity towards that person whatsoever, but have no indication that I will try to make it better in the future. I've done it with family, like to the point that I don't even go to Christmas, which, just because I'm not going to deal with it. I don't need the stress that I know is going to happen.
Right.
I don't want to deal with it because it's going to make me angry, and then I'm going to say something, and then I'm going to be made to be the bad guy, and that person's going to play the victim, and then I'm only going to make it worse for myself.
Yeah, man.
So I'm really good. My wife would tell you I'm really good at just shutting the switch off on somebody and not even talking to them for the rest of my life.
We got that in common. I've done it many a time.
I think it's necessary sometimes. And the thing about it is that it doesn't mean I don't love you. It doesn't mean I don't respect you.
No, it's a learned defensive tactic.
I just can't have you in my life right now.
Right. No.
For whatever reason. And I think that's important for people to understand that you don't seek that. You don't seek. One of my biggest things was my dad he was a loving father, but he would never say the words, I love you.
Mine was the same way. Still, I mean, yeah. It just wasn't.
Yeah, the I'm proud of yous did not come often.
No.
But you'd see the smile.
Right.
You knew he was, but he never said it. And I'm 47 years old now, and I still want to hear those words from him.
Yeah. No, I get
From
it,
him.
man. I get it.
Now I make sure, because I know how it feels that I'm 47. My son's hit a couple home runs this year. And I made sure I told him, I am proud of you.
Oh,
what you're doing.
100%.
You need to do better on your feeling, but
Yeah, no, constructive criticism.
But I am proud of you for what you're doing. I'm proud of you for what you've done. Grades come in. I'm proud of you for working hard and getting these grades for both my children and stuff like that. That they know that people are paying attention, that they're the people that matter are paying attention.
Right.
And so I didn't necessarily get that. It was kind of this understood thing. Dad was a boomer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my mom was a boomer. But it was kind of just one of these understood things. But it still feels nice to hear the words.
Yeah.
And I look at my career, and when I talk about my professional career and the accomplishments, all of my accomplishments were not driven by, when I look back, every one of them were fucking selfish. Every fucking one of them.
Yeah.
Everything that I've been able to accomplish in my career, from helicopters to blood to published author
Right.
type things, I only did because I wanted somebody to be proud of me.
No, dude, listen. Yeah, it's a whole nother episode, but I'm telling you, I was guilty of the same shit. At 25, I became a parent.
Yeah.
Nowhere near fucking ready. And why I say that is because I thought parenting, even though in my mind I was like, man, I'm never going to be that way. I'm never going to shut down the emotion. I went straight to that gutter. Everything I did for the first few years of, especially my son's life, was criticize, do better. You know, you're not fast enough. You're not good. You know. Mm-hmm. Then when I started doing my own treatment, taking care of myself, I realized that in order to get where I wanted to be with him, or, you know, my daughter's a little different story, but I had to change that mindset for him or for myself.
Who was it the other day? Never mind. Yeah, it was, and I don't know. I was like in high school in sports. I was good because I was big, 6'3", and I was fast. I was a lot smaller than I am now, but I was big and fast.
Right.
And just that combination makes you
stand out,
have an advantage.
Yeah.
So, you know, I could play basketball and score 30 points with 20 rebounds, right, every game. Batted 500 plus my junior and senior year in college, high school baseball. Played commercial softball, fast pitch and slow pitch, and was, just a powerhouse.
Right.
I had a physical advantage. And the problem is that I never took that and capitalized on it because I never cared about it.
It wasn't highlighted for you.
It wasn't highlighted. But it was funny. This last Thursday, I can tell you it was last Thursday. We was at the ball field with Reed and played a game they'd won. And he had a good game. He had a couple of outs, made a couple good plays,
mm-hmm.
batted out the butthole. We were walking back to the truck after the game was over, and I ran into an old buddy of mine. Hadn't seen him probably better than a year. Name's Clint. And Clint, he is the epitome of never letting a obstacle get the best of you. Clint had one of the best arms, I think, in the world in high school. I'm talking about, this is a 100-mile-an-hour dude coming out of high school.
Jesus.
Yes. Got picked up not Cincinnati. I don't think it was Cincinnati. He got picked up. Of course, he blew his arm out.
Yeah.
Like many of them do. And they released him. This is a hell of a ball. Like, this dude is one of the top 3 high school ball players I've ever seen in my life. And ever. And he took all of that. He came back, and he made a successful career somewhere else. Super successful. Never let it get him down. We were sitting there talking about his kids. His son, his oldest son, is a chip off the old block.
He's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, he's 14, throwing at 87.
Kid day.
Also, there's no one in his pony league and travel ball that can throw it past him. He's playing varsity. They call him up the varsity, but they won't. Clint said, I don't want him to pitch because
too young.
He's too young, and 85 to 90 and 3A high school ball.
Yeah.
He's got a fastball, and that's really it. He's gonna get rocked,
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
and then he's gonna lose it. He's going to
Right.
lose all of his momentum. But they called him up. They put him on a base. He's doing base work and stuff like that now. Keeping up with his pitching and stuff. But he's just killing the ball up behind in the batter's box. This dude is amazing. Clint says he's way better than I ever was.
No shit.
He said, you know what? He said, you know what the success was with this is that he comes home and he practices even after practice. He's like, I never got on him about how he needs to do something. I let him learn on his own, and if he asked me, I would show him a way. He said, I made him in a way, or let him discover the love for it.
Right.
And now he has this love for it that is just all-consuming. And he's just plowing through with it. And he said, my mother did that for me. My dad did that for me. He said, that's the only way to do it. And that made so much fucking sense to me.
I agree.
So much fucking sense to me. And I said, that's what I'm going to do. That fucking makes sense. And instead of saying, you only had a 20-point game, you should have had a 35-point game.
The hypercritical and the ones, especially the fathers. Now, moms are getting up there, but mostly the dads that are trying to live vicariously through their days, man.
You can see them up there. They're
when they screaming at the refs, and I'm like, what are we doing?
Dude, you can see them when they walk into the parks up there. Like, the way they walk, you go, he's got a kid on every field out here, and he's skipping fields, and he's just like, dude, I played commercial softball against you, and you sucked.
Yeah,
yeah.
Baseball is not my thing. My son, he's really jumped off with baseball, at least the last year and a half, but.
It is. That's my
dads,
sport. I love my sport.
The dads kill me out there, man. The yelling, even for like rec league ball. Like there was a bad call the other night, and Mama was running to the dugout to scream at husband, who is now this volunteer coach, mind you. That they're not to get away with the other team's not to get away with the cheating, and I'm like, lady. It doesn't matter.
I think before you're able to sit in the stands of any ball game, you should have to coach 1 year.
Oh, yeah.
I think you should. I think it's necessary.
Yeah. Something somewhere has got to click with some of these people.
These people, number one, you don't have a clue what it takes to be out there.
No.
And you don't have a clue what it takes to be fair to decent.
Right.
At an amateur level.
No, and
at a very amateur level. Like, I'm talking about very amateur level.
Right.
I got this guy that made it to the big leagues.
Right. Who you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Right.
That you would never know. If you walked in this door right now, you'd never know it. That this guy had probably if his arm hadn't have just completely been destroyed because they overpitched him in high school and college.
Yeah, because there was no pitch count back then.
Yeah. In high school and college, they overpitched him and blew him out. This guy, you would watch him twice a week.
Damn.
Right now. He was that good.
Damn.
Like, even I, that could bat over 500, were scared of this dude.
Yeah. He was coming for you.
Yeah. This was the man. Like, it was irresistible force, immovable object type thing. Yeah. But to see this guy have that kind of attitude, this guy's the one that deserves to have that attitude of not, being the vicarious. And he doesn't. Dude, you played some co-ed church ball when you got out of high school. Get fucked.
Right. Yeah. I'm telling you, some of these dads in this travel baseball.
Oh, Jesus.
Bro,
it's like a business. It is a business.
I can't. It's not for me. It's probably a really good thing for exposure and time, but it's almost too much.
We're not playing travel ball this year.
Don't. Unless he begs you and like this is his thing that he wants to do. It's a money-making thing. There's probably some really good things about it. But as far as some of these parents, they're killing it for their kids. And what it's doing is it's putting them in the sport too much, forcing them to play it too much to where a lot of them are losing interest in very few years.
Yeah.
And the numbers are dropping. So it's just... I don't know. Vicious circle.
Yep. Well, hey, I hate to do it, but we probably need to wrap this up.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, it was an hour and 20 minutes.
Jesus, Pete.
Yeah. So don't forget, folks, if you would, please go over to our social media, Sarcasm and Serotonin, YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram is at Sarcasm Serotonin. Our podcasts are available anywhere you want podcasts. I like the whole YouTube thing and Spotify thing because you can watch the videos and the stupid shit we do. We still have the web store, so you can go get you some swag from there. And email us at sarcasmandserotonin.
Fudpucker's in, right?
Fudpucker is in.
Yeah. I saw it.
Fudpucker's dirty.
Yeah.
I'd be wearing it today. Fudpucker is in. It is. I actually wore it to Tractor Supply the other day. I'm not even going to joke. I wore it to Tractor Supply. I don't know. If, the day I sent you the picture of it.
Yeah.
I wore it to Tractor Supply. The guy was checking it out. He said, that is fucking amazing shirt.
Right.
I was like, well, you can get one. Go here. He went and ordered one right then.
That's awesome.
I filled the order while he was standing there.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So there's another Fudpucker out there. There's 2 Fudpuckers running around and a Dickie Bingo.
And a Dickie Bingo.
I thought I almost wore my Dickie Bingo shirt to the urologist today. I thought that would be kind of a.
You were supposed to last time.
I know I did.
Damn.
I always forget.
I know. You're old.
Anyway, love y'all. I hope y'all had fun. We'll see you on the next one.